Hello, Aries, and welcome to your 2025 annual horoscope. This is a very significant year for you, dear Aries, because there's a lot happening in your sign, so in the first house. And for this reason, this will be the year when you will be reinventing your life, your routine, your lifestyle, your physical appearance, your style. So as we begin the year, Mars, your ruler, is still retrograde. First, it will initially be retrograde in the sign of Leo, and then it will shift into Cancer on the 6th, 7th of January. So overall, you are going to be reevaluating, reassessing your living situation, your home situation, your living conditions, your living arrangements overall. So these are the first 2 months of the year with this major focus upon your home situation. But at the same time, it's a great time for returning to projects, ideas, goals that you had maybe last year, you didn't have a chance to implement them. This is a chance to give them another go. Simultaneously, the nodes will shift into Aries and Virgo on the 29th of January. This is another big event because the nodes were in your first and the seventh house for 18 months, and now they are moving into the 6th and the 12th. So what it is, in the next 18 months, you will be changing your routine. You will be implementing different habits to your daily life. So overall lifestyle changes. Maybe you need to exercise more. Maybe you're changing how you work. Maybe this is about working remotely or working from the office or whatever it is. Your daily reality is not going to be the same anymore. There is a need for a shift, a change. So whether you will be working differently, whether you are implementing more exercise into your daily life, whether your habits are changing, daily responsibilities, whether you are implementing new dietary changes into your life, whatever it is, here your daily life is changing. And this is a big shift happening in 2025 and 2026. Now, at the same time, this is also when you might experience insomnia, difficulty in sleeping, consistent sleeping pattern might be affected. What you might find effective is implementing some helpful methods that could help you to sleep well, like pink noise or white noise, which I discussed in the previous videos, lavender smell mist, for instance, or Bach remedies. And this is also about having to face some fear, phobias, move away from any negative energies, negative habits, addictions as well. And this is also about discovering yourself on a very deep level, a greater interest in spirituality, spiritual work, for instance, volunteering as well. Now here we will have eclipses happening this year, primarily in Virgo and Pisces. We've got a very final eclipse in your first house in Aries, and this is happening on the 29th of March at 8 degrees of Aries. So this is about something new, a solar eclipse on the North Node. The nodes will be already in Pisces and Virgo, but it doesn't matter because this is just how it is. This happens quite often. Last year in September, we had an eclipse in Pisces, and the nodes will still in Aries and Libra. So this isn't something unusual. But here, a solar eclipse is about new beginnings. So you are starting something new connected to your personal goals, ambitions, career. But this is something that you will initiate, something that will help you to simplify your life, something that will help you to realign yourself with your purpose, so with your direction you will be taking. So this is a brand new beginning, a brand new phase, a chapter in your life, starting in March. Now, at the same time, we'll have an eclipse also in Virgo, a Virgo first eclipse in this Virgo and Pisces cycle. And this eclipse will be already in March, and that will be on March the 14th at 23 degrees of Virgo. It's a lunar eclipse, and it is connected to the South Node. So this is about some endings, conclusions, and with the sixth house being highlighted, this is already the beginning of your lifestyle changes, which I mentioned earlier at the beginning of this video. This is about redefining your routine, moving away from some duties, responsibilities, and this is about opening doors to some new opportunities appearing, taking place in your life, maybe a new job, a new skill, a new service that you want to offer, or perhaps a new diet, a new regime, whatever it is here. This is about changes to your daily routine, your daily lifestyle. Now, as we move forward, we've got also Venus retrograde at the same time in March, and first in Aries, and it will end in Pisces in April. And this is generally here your first house and the 12th house activated. So another indication that you'll be reviewing your style, your physical appearance. Venus is connected to beauty, creativity, and finances as well, and sensible feminine energy. But I think with the first house being activated in Venus, this is when you will be taking a closer look at your physical appearance, at your style, at the health products that you use, at the hair and health products that you use. Generally, this is about changing your life, your style, changing your the products that you use for your hair, for your face. This is about lifestyle, clothing changes. This kind of themes will be very much apparent at this time, but at the same time, it's about reviewing your relationships. This could be when an ex-romantic partner might return into your life. This is about reconnecting with the past in some sense as well. Venus, when Venus is in Pisces, retrograde in April, this is about doing things in a more of a secretive way. From behind the scenes, Venus rules your second and the 12th house. You might be more secretive about your love life around this time, but at the same time, I think this is especially also connected to maybe some secret love affairs or some secret love of some sort from the past, for example. All right, so now we've got another, of course, we've got Mercury retrograde this year. I will just discuss it briefly, not to overwhelm you with information. And they are all happening primarily in fire signs, Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. So here again, Mercury retrograde is all about reassessing your skills, your talents, your life philosophy, your belief system, your life purpose, also your ability to express yourself confidently, clearly, authentically. Now, Saturn will be in Aries this year, along with Neptune, and then Uranus will be in Gemini. So Saturn will enter Aries on May the 25th until September the 1st. It will only reach the first degree of Aries. There are such mixed energies this year because you will have both Saturn and Neptune at some point in your first house simultaneously, and they represent very different energies. So here with Saturn entering your first house, you get a little flavor of what you will expect or you may expect to happen from the 26th moving forward for about 2 to 3 years. Generally, when Saturn enters the first house, this is a brand new beginning of a brand new life phase, a brand new 29 years cycle. Now, think about what Saturn represents: structure, discipline, order. Generally, you bring more structure to your life, to your reality. Very often, this is generally a transit that brings more responsibility, more maturity. It's like we become more mature, we move into the next phase of our life. This could be also when your responsibilities might increase. Very often people who have got Saturn transiting their first house, they start brand new careers that generally give them more responsibilities. But at the same time, this could be also a time when you might be retiring. Now, with Saturn moving into your first house, you could lose weight very easily. Very often we lose weight because with Saturn in the first house, we either don't, our appetite decreases, we don't have time to eat as much as we would like to, or perhaps we become picky eaters, or we just feel like snacking here and there. So you really need to watch your diet as well, your minerals intake, calcium, because otherwise it will affect your teeth, it will affect your bones and joints. With Saturn transit in the first house, Saturn is connected to gray colors. You might be prone to wear more gray, more earthy colors, or perhaps this could be also when your hair might start to change. It might actually become gray, or you might get first gray hair. Or perhaps you might dye your hair. If you're blonde, but blonde isn't your natural color, you might want to return to your original color, for example. Saturn is also connected to leather, so perhaps you might have also get a leather jacket, literally. And what else? Your skin might become more pale. You might become more self-critical of yourself with Saturn in the first house. So don't be too harsh of yourself, because very often with Saturn transiting in our first house, we feel old, or we feel older than we are. So we become more self-critical. This could be also the case here with Saturn transiting the first house. Now, all right, so I'll probably move forward now. So Neptune will reach the second degree of Aries in 2025. It will stay in Aries overall from 2026 until 2039, but in 2025, it will just Neptune in Aries from March the 30th until October the 22nd. So here, while Saturn brings all these energies connected to structure, seriousness, discipline, maturity, Neptune brings something extremely different, and it's a much longer transit. So with Neptune transiting your first house, you need to know yourself really, really well, because Neptune will bring confusion. Neptune can bring delusion. With Neptune transiting the first house, we temporarily appear to be slightly different to who we are at the core, which at the same time makes us attract people who are attracted to the qualities that are temporary. So this could also mean that you might be dissatisfied with some of the connections that you established during Neptune's transit in the first house, especially if you resemble too much of that Neptunian energy during the times when you meet these new people, or you attract these new people, because they might not actually recognize the qualities of who you are at the core. So for this reason, it's really important to know, to learn to distinguish their reality from fantasy, and also watch out for any people who might want to persuade you to try something that is not beneficial for you. Watch out for any tendencies towards escapism, alcohol consumption. But at the same time, with Neptune in the first house, this could be a really, really spiritual journey, a spiritual awakening. Also is connected to Neptune transit in the first house. With Neptune in the first house, this is also when we want to help others, when we become really compassionate, when we've got this inner need, desire to get involved in charity work, in generally in activities that will help humanity. It's a very creative time, very mystical time, very a time connected to daydreaming. But at the same time, I think Saturn, on the other hand, will help you to stay grounded, because with Neptune in the first house, it's I think you really need to engage in earthy activities to stay grounded in their reality. Otherwise, sometimes you might make the wrong decisions. Now, I will dedicate a separate video for Neptune in the first house. I've got a couple of interesting books that I'm still kind of exploring, so that actually I recommend to you if you want to learn more about Neptune. But I'll explore this transit further and deeper soon. But at the same time, Uranus is moving into Gemini this year, and just temporarily, it will just reach the first degree of Gemini between July the 7th and November the 8th, and will just reach the initial degree of Gemini. So what does it mean? This is the third house. So here again, a big shift and big changes in your communication style as well. This could be related to some involvement online, working with technology, doing things online, working remotely. I think this is also when your mindset, there's a huge shift of your mindset, of how you think, how you communicate with Uranus in the third house. So Uranus gives us this great ability to think outside the box. There's a lot of eccentric, unique, original energy as well connected to our ability to communicate effectively. But at the same time, I think this could be also related to some people here. I think some Aries rising might be changing their community environments. This could be related to potentially either you moving or perhaps you might be joining some communities, groups. In many ways, this could be related to changes of your environment of people with whom you socialize and deal on daily basis. There could be also major shifts and changes happening in your neighborhood, new shops, shopping mall, for example, opening, but something slightly also of a bigger scale as well. And finally, we've got two more eclipses happening in September. In September, we've got a solar eclipse in Virgo at 28 degrees on the 21st of September. And we've got a lunar eclipse in Pisces and 15 degrees of Pisces on the 7th of September. So here again, these eclipses will activate your area of your everyday routine, your lifestyle, and work environment, also the spiritual hidden area of your life. So here again, this is about implementing lifestyle changes, changes to your routine, changes connected to your diet, to your duties, to your responsibilities. Many Aries will be getting a pet throughout the duration of this cycle as well. Jupiter will remain in your third house of Gemini until the 9th of June, and then from the 9th of June until June the 30th, 2026, Jupiter will be in your fourth house. So while in the initial first 6 months of 2025, here there could be lots of opportunities for traveling, for engaging in intellectually stimulating activities, projects as well, for working with your siblings, for example, on a mutual goal objective. From the second part of the month, we've got Jupiter moving into your fourth house. And this is when, on the one hand, your home might be abroad, at least temporarily. You might find yourself traveling a lot. You might find yourself craving more space at home. So you might be rearranging your living arrangements, whether this is adding an extension to your place or perhaps decluttering, rearranging furniture, whatever you can afford, whatever is possible at this point in your life. Here with Jupiter in your fourth house, you want more space, you crave more space as well. But at the same time here, this could be also about moving abroad, living abroad, or perhaps someone moving into your place, for example, from abroad. Even there's an element of something foreign here, but at the same time, you crave more spacious surroundings, you crave more space as well. All right, so here we go. Pluto will be establishing itself in 2025 in Aquarius. It is not returning back into Capricorn. So at the same time, there's this huge shift when it comes to friendships, people that you socialize with, a great time for forming your own community, for forming your own tribe, or joining established tribes or communities to meet like-minded people. All right, so thank you very much, Aries. I wish you a fruitful and productive year, and bye for now.